Today I have a tutorial on this look here for you. It is a silver glitter cut crease, and as it turns out I decided to pair a bright lip with it as well. All of the products I've used for this look are available from Mecca, and I've actually used some new ones. I love all of the brands that I've used, and I'm actually really loving the new products that I've tried too. So if you like what you see, then please keep on watching. I'm starting off with the Josie Maran 100% pure argan oil, and I'm applying that all over my face, and I'm just going to let that soak in and work its magic while I start on my eyes. About 5 drops between my hands and rub it on. If you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I love to do my winged liner first, and that's just because I have shaky hands and things can get a little bit messy. So I like to get that out of the way before I do the rest of my makeup. And today I'm going to be using the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Intense Black. I just do really small strokes and just work with whatever feels comfortable for you at this point so that you can nail that winged liner. Moving on to brows before I finish the rest of my eye makeup, and I'm using the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in the colour Blonde. I'm now going to clean up around my brows and conceal my eyes with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, and I'm using the colour Medium Neutral. The colour is a little bit dark, but that will all balance out once I put my foundation on. And I'm just buffing it in now. I just want a really good base to apply my eyeshadow to. I know this looks a little weird at the moment with just concealer on, but we'll go back and fix up the skin after we've done the eyes, just so that if there's any product dropout, we've got that covered and we don't ruin our foundation in the process. I'm now going to set my concealer with the Nars Translucent Light Reflecting Setting Powder, and I think the shade is called Crystal, and that also prepares my eyelids for eyeshadow. This just creates a really velvety smooth base for eyeshadow to be applied to, and it helps it to blend really easily as well. I'm now using the Stila Eyes of the Window Shadow Palette in the shade Soul, and I'm going to start with this shade here, which is called Light. And I'm just gently patting that onto my eyelid, and basically I'm just mattifying and creating a lighter base to work with. I'm now going to pick up the shade Individual on a small pencil brush. And I'm going to start to carve out my socket line. So it's pretty easy to feel where your socket line is, which is where your cut crease should go, unless you want to create a whole new cut crease, of course. I'm just doing that really gently and then blending it out and building the colour up as I go. And I'm then using that exact same shade to blend up to my eyebrows, just to create a really obvious distinction between the shadow and the lighter colour I used before. Now for the fun part, I'm going to apply some glitter in my crease. I'm so scared I'm going to stuff this up and ruin the whole thing, but let's give it a go. I'm using the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner in the shade Distortion. And I did stuff that up straight away. I'm just using a small angle brush, but I ended up giving up on that and just using the product. And I'm using this shade first just to start creating that glitter definition, and I'm applying it just underneath the crease. Now that I have that one on, I'm not going to look up, but I'm going to use the shade Glam Rock. I'm now going over exactly where I applied the previous glitter, and I'm just making it even more defined. I'm also tracing it along the wing. I'm now going in and cleaning up where I made that little boo-boo just with that original shade from the Stila palette. I'm now going to take this shade here, and again I'm just applying that just above the glitter to create even more definition around that cut crease. For my eyes, because they are a little bit hooded, I like to make my cut crease a little bit thicker, just so you can see it a little bit more when I'm looking straight ahead at someone. But if you don't have that hooded eye shape, you can definitely make your cut crease a little bit thinner. I'm now going to apply the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, which I've heard is the #1 selling mascara at Mecca. And now I'm going to apply these Mecca Cosmetica Enhancing False Lashes. I'm just going to trim the ends ever so slightly to make sure they fit onto my eyes correctly. I like to apply my false lashes to the centre of my eye first and then stick down the ends. Back to skin, and I'm just going to baby wipe off that oil that I applied earlier. Now is also the time to clean up any product fallout, but surprisingly I don't have too much today. For my primer, I'm going to use the Hourglass Ambient Light Correcting Primer in Luminous Light. I'm now going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Natural Beige, and I'm so excited to try this one out. I'm obsessed with their concealer, and so far I'm loving the foundation too. I'm now applying a mixture of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Fair and the Urban Decay Naked Skin concealer in the shade Neutral Medium. I've applied the Fair underneath my eyes and on my chin and a little bit on my forehead. And then I'm applying the darker shade around my nose and a little bit more on my chin as well, just to balance out the colour. And I'm now just buffing all of that in and cleaning up all under the eyes. I'm now going to bronze up my face slightly with the Nars Laguna Liquid Bronzer, which I'm also very excited to try out. I'm basically applying it in the shape of a 3, so starting with my forehead, moving down to underneath my cheekbones and again down to my jawline. And a little bit either side of my nose. And that is a really easy way to look naturally contoured. I'm just applying a little bit of powder underneath my eyes. Just back to that Nars loose setting powder. Back to my Stila palette, and I'm going to take this shade here on a really small brush. And I'm just smoking out underneath my eyes to totally balance them out, and also just to give it a bit of a more sexy, smoky vibe. I'm now going to apply Laguna, which is a bronzer by Nars. I'm just going to use that a little bit to bronze up the rest of my face, focusing it where I focused the liquid Laguna bronzer, but also buffing it up just a little bit higher for a more all over bronze look. I'm also going to apply a little bit of blush, and I'm using the Too Faced Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush. I'm just adding a touch of blush because to get the most natural looking bronzer, I think you need a little bit of flush with it. Before I forget, I'm going to quickly apply some mascara to my bottom lash line. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Candlelight Glow in Warm Glow, and I'll use a mixture of the two shades. I'm now applying the Nars Velvet Lip Liner in the shade Why Mia, and I love this colour. Now I'm going to finish off my lips with the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick and the shade Feelin' Myself. Gotta say, I was not expecting to go for a bright, but here we are, and I'm so obsessed with these products. I have pretty much every shade, I think. If you wanted to keep the lip a little bit more neutral, that would definitely work really nicely as well. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.